The issues that are at the top of the mind for CIOs and CISOs kind of boil into three areas. I'd say it's without a doubt breaches are on the rise. We can't go a week now without having a mainstream headlining breach that's getting dissected. The reason why that is because the attack vectors, there's so many of them now. It's become an industry. There's threats like ransomware, where for $50 you can buy an exploit kit and create a new variant, and that's just one threat vector of many. So not only are the breaches here in the mainstream and everyone's aware of them, but they're going to continue because the barriers of entry have been lowered. And as a result, we see enterprises try to throw yet another security appliance at the problem. And that just is not sustainable. You can't keep that up. It's impossible to continue to manage these sprawl of appliances and then replicate them everywhere that you want to have internet access. It just doesn't make any sense. And then couple that with the last fact, which is the fact that applications are no longer in the corporate network. They've left the data centers, they've left your environment, and the users have already done that. And there's no way you can build a perimeter around them anymore. We think of ourselves as having built a perimeter around the internet itself rather than customers having to build perimeters around each of the locations where they need to protect users. There's really 4 key points of differentiation that makes it very different than what anyone else is doing. So the first one is there's no compromise in the security that we provide. We are always inspecting every packet, every byte that comes into our network or goes out of it. There's absolutely no such thing as a bypass of security for performance reasons. We're not blind to encrypted traffic at all. The only way you can do that and truly claim it's uncompromised is when you have a distributed infrastructure and an economies of scale that only a cloud can provide. We started building this 8-9 years ago now as one of the first architectures that was meant to be born in the cloud, so to say, meaning we designed it from the beginning to be a multi-tenant cloud distributed architecture. The second one is an integrated and correlated security platform. When a connection comes to us, we're going to scan and do all of our inspection on that connection on the exact system that it came to. And the only way you can ever do that and have true correlation among when a firewall sees something suspicious and then when intrusion prevention may see something else suspicious, the only way you can correlate those two is if you built them both from scratch to be a part of the same system. The third one is cloud effect. We're protecting tens of millions of end users through this infrastructure. And when we see a new threat for one of our customers' employees in some corner of the world, as soon as we've identified that threat, every other customer in our cloud gets benefit from that intelligence, that protection, on the very next transaction. And what does that mean today? We're blocking literally over 100 million threats on a daily basis for these end users. And that will only continue to grow as we continue to evolve. And then the last piece is our threat partnerships that we have. And at the core, we have our Threat Labs team, which they have this visibility to this cloud that's doing these tens of billions of internet transactions a day. And they're applying machine learning algorithms and we have automated malware analysis that's happening on every transaction that flows through this infrastructure. You have to have an ecosystem of partnerships and intelligence that are going to be able to discover threats in all their different forms. And last but not least, you have to have the cloud effect, which will protect your users instantly as soon as a new threat is seen.